Hi guys, welcome to the first installment of Dio Adventures. My name is Anthony, and we were going to first be doing a rig walk around of my 1995 Mitsubishi Pajero. So I bought this Pajero and it had about 55,000 miles on it. I bought it from my friend who was an importer, Midco Imports out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I was initially looking for a Land Cruiser Prado, but after realizing that the Land Cruiser Prado was kind of out of the budget, I started looking at other platforms. So it's between this and a Nissan Safari, and this made more sense to me. So the parts availability is way easier in the States for 4M40 engine parts and scheduled maintenance items. And I can also get, other body panels and interior panels from the second gen Montero that they sold here in the United States. So we'll start from the front. I've made a few modifications to this vehicle. First and foremost, these are BX built headlights. So I had these made by BX built here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I picked up some Gen 2.5 headlights, which are better honestly for light output, and I had him retrofit his BX built LED HID kit. Tons brighter than stock. Honestly, the stock headlights were more of a safety issue than they were anything else. I had initially had a bull bar on this car, but I took it off and added some By Design knockoff fog lights. Honestly, these are pretty bright. For what I paid for them, I'm not going to complain. I've had Baja Design lights before, and they're definitely worth it, but these were well worth $200 for the pair. Moving around to the side of the vehicle, I've added some ditch lights. These are just Amazon ditch lights. I think I paid 50 bucks for these. They're not bad. So nobody really makes ditch light brackets for the Montero or the Pajero, so these are universal ditch light brackets that I've installed on the hood. They seem to work pretty good. Some set screws hold them down on the back side, and yep, no rattling, no nothing. So the wheels I have, pardon the dust. The wheels that I had on this car were 3-piece Epsilon wheels, but I found these old raised Nitro power wheels on eBay and I couldn't turn them down. They were in decent shape. Came with all the center caps, and I went ahead and picked up some bigger wheels too. So I'm running 265/75 PFG all-terrains. I do plan on maybe upgrading to a bigger set of tires later on in the future, but for right now these work really good. So for suspension, I did upgrade the suspension to a full OME kit. So I'm running OME torsion bars and OME medium springs and OME Nitro shocks. You can't really see them. They're pretty good, I'd say, for the money, value-wise. There's not very much to choose from in regards to what you can and can't run on a Pajero. So my options were pretty limited, and I didn't want to drop $2,000 on a set of Kings. So I went with OME. Pretty nice. Moving down the side of the vehicle, I've also installed some rock sliders. So these rock sliders actually came off of my friend Adam's Jeep Wagoneer, and he took them off and we put them to the side of the car, realized how well they fit, and I had them welded onto the frame. So the awning, so I have a 6.5-foot ARB awning attached to this Yakima lock and load rack. So the rack itself is a little narrow, but it's almost perfect for what I use it for. So the bars stick out. These are 58-inch bars, and the rack itself is 49 inches, but it's almost perfect. The way I have this awning mounted, I used the L brackets that came with the awning itself, and then those are just some Yakima snap-on or snap-on rings. And then I used some 1A rain gutter mounts. It's right there. moving on, so I wired these reverse lights to the bumper. So this bumper I have on the car right now is actually from a Montero, a Gen 2.5 Montero. And I retrofitted these floodlights to be my reverse lights. So I just wired from those reverse lights to here. They're extremely bright. They're very nice. One more thing I've added to this vehicle is I've added a spare tire hinge saver. So I got this from Braddock of Paleo Fabrication. I believe this is probably made, it's like they still make these in China. And basically what this does is when you close the back door, you engage this right here, and then it pushes up on your spare tire, relieving stress on your rear hinge. It's adjustable. I always forget to like actually set it, but it works really well. Moving on to the back of the vehicle, I've outfitted this vehicle for what I need it for. This is a prototype Molle panel from Outbound, Nevada. So the actual production Molle panel should be going on here pretty soon, but I've modified it to mount some of the things that I need from when I go camping and fishing. So some tools right here, recovery strap there, a hammock, and then I always forget my paper towels, so I decided to just mount them on my Molle panel. So some of the stuff that I have in this vehicle at all times, I use the ceiling for blankets and jackets. Got that off of Amazon a while back. It was like a $20 purchase, but it definitely gets a lot of use. I don't have a high lift jack, but I've used this air jack from Mean Mother. I've had it for a few years now. Works really well. So, you know, to save space, and I've decided to just use the air jack. So here, normally, back of the air jack, I always have my solar panels. So I use those solar panels in conjunction with a generator that I don't currently have. It's at home, but my generator usually sits right here. And it powers up the refrigerator that normally goes on top of the Overland Vehicle Systems drawer. So this is a single drawer that I have. And I put, you know, another tool bag, and my jet boil's always in there, some camping lights, some my air down equipment, my pump and dump to air down tools in there. But the fridge, I have a 35-quart fridge that normally goes up here. So when I go camping, we throw the fridge on top. It's really nice. The OVS drawers are, for what they're worth, they're pretty solid. I haven't had any issues with it. I do wish that the top would lock. No, it doesn't. But normally when I park, I'm always level anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much. It also comes with this sweet table here, work table. So do a lot of cooking on this thing. So my tent is actually an ARB awning. I use the ARB awning in conjunction with their awning walls as my tent. It's worked out pretty good so far. I don't have it set up right now, obviously, but when I do have it set up, it sustains some pretty high winds. Last camping trip, I thought it was actually gonna fall apart, but it's held up pretty good. So it's gone the whole season in high winds and high heat, and I've had no problems so far. One of the things that I did also add to this vehicle, the lighting in the cabin or the back cabin isn't always the best, especially at night. So I found this kit, or this I think it's supposed to be for a kitchen, but I found this light on Amazon, and it's just it's double-sided tape for the mount. It does rotate back and forth, and it is a touch light. Works really well. especially on camp trips. So you can change the brightness or the temperature of the light itself, depending on what your needs are. I usually just keep it on the brightest white setting. It's also dimmable. So as far as engine modifications go, I haven't done anything crazy to this vehicle. From the research that I've seen, it seems like everybody just wants you to, or everybody says that you should just keep the stock, the 440 engine stock, which is fine with me. Yeah, it's kind of a slug, but you know, it's got some pretty good low-end torque, especially off-road. So I did add a K&N drop-in air filter just to provide more airflow. But I really don't plan on doing any other modifications to the motor. Maybe a snorkel, but honestly, I don't even really think a snorkel is a necessity at this point. I do have a Trigger wireless 6-shooter installed in the engine bay for my auxiliary lighting. So it powers the ditch lights and then any other lighting that I plan on adding, or any other electrical devices I plan on adding later on. Future plans for this car, I plan on adding a rear ladder. I had a rear ladder before, and I took it off a couple months ago. It was making a bunch of squeaks and it wasn't really fitting properly. So I have a ladder coming from Reno, specifically made for the Gen 2 Montero Pajero platform. So that's going to be coming here pretty soon. And then the other modification that I plan on doing here shortly is I'm going to add a shower awning or a privacy awning to the other side of the vehicle. So that's one of the complaints that the missus has when we go camping, is she says, I don't have any place to pee. So I'm going to give her a place to where she can pee in privacy. So that's going to be coming up here in a few. Be on the lookout for a unboxing and an install video of the shower awning. I should be getting that shower awning from Kick-Ass Products here shortly. But yeah, so that's the rig. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be doing a few more videos of my fishing trips with the family and any other excursions that we're going to be doing. I definitely plan on bringing some more content for you guys to see. So if you watch this whole video, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks.